Well, as is the case, and it's a good problem to have, this game becomes really important against a very disciplined, very tough football team that runs a very unusual offense that's impossible to get ready for in 3 days. So in order for us to have a chance to win, we got to prepare well and hopefully outscore them.
Coach, have you noticed that Air Force doing anything different this year than past years, or has it just pretty much been the same?
No, it's pretty much the same as they were last year. The year before that, they were more triple option than they are now, but last year they weren't a lot of triple option either. They line up in the formation, triple option formations, but they run more speed option and toss sweeps and things like that than the other academy teams do. The triple option is just a part of their offense. It's not like the other academies that almost the total offense is triple option.
Does it make it harder to prepare for that then?
It makes it more difficult, yeah, because you still have to be able to play against the triple option, and then it kind of sets you up for some of the other plays they run.
You believe it better suits your defense playing against a rushing attack rather than a potent passing attack?
Not this kind of rushing attack, no. I mean, our defense has played pretty well against the run the last few weeks, but we're playing against the same kind of offenses. This is a completely different offense. They average 300 and almost 40 yards a game rushing. They average 33 points a game. If they get behind, they throw it. They threw it for 220-some yards against Army because they got behind.
What did Army do that you can maybe learn from?
They got ahead. I mean, if the game is close, Air Force does a great job of pounding the ball, keeping the ball away from you so you don't have a chance to score points. They've punted a total of 19 or 20 times the whole season, which means they don't have to punt very much. Now, against Army, they got behind by a couple, 3 touchdowns, and then they started throwing the ball a lot more.
But from an outsider's perspective, watching on TV and so forth, it almost seems like your offense is as good or better with Adam Dingwall as the quarterback. Not a knock against Ryan, but is it possible that it's better?
Oh, I don't think we've had a drop-off, if that's what you mean. I don't think it's any better, no. I think that Adam's done a good job of coming in and keeping things moving in the right direction. But I thought when Ryan was playing, he did a great job, too.
You haven't had to change anything or cut back on anything at all with Adam, has he?
They basically run the same offense. I think that we weren't sure that Adam would be able to check plays as well as he did last week, and so each week he should be getting a little bit better, and he got a lot better this last week as compared to when his first start was against UNLV. He was a lot better against Boise, so hopefully he'll continue that way.
I think if my memory serves me correctly, you went with Ryan at the beginning of the year because of the experience factor, because he had played more. Are you impressed with the poise that Adam has shown for a guy who does not have that experience?
Yeah, very impressed. I mean, I was really impressed on how he came off the bench, but then it's always a concern on how you're going to act as a starting quarterback, and it doesn't seem like it bothers him any. I mean, we already knew he was a really good competitor. He's one of the toughest guys on the team, so he has respect of the other players, and the other players are going to rally around him. But you wonder if he's going to perform at the level he's performed at to this point.
It almost seems like it's a product of the system with a solid rushing attack. It takes the ease off of a quarterback. Could you talk about the backfield this year, where it compares to other backfields you've had in the past, other good backfields?
I think the difference between this one and other good rushing teams I've been around is that this has 2 quality running backs that share equal time. I've been around teams that had 2 quality running backs, but one got the majority of the carries, and the other one just kind of spelled him or rested him at times. Or you had a dominant running back that got most of the carries in a game and was something special, like Ronnie Hillman was last year. Our 2 running backs are a little bit different styles, but they're carrying the ball almost equal number of times, and they're having equal amount of success. So that's a little unusual that they're sharing equal carries and very similar to yardage and everything else.
we know that there always needs to be a productive offensive line in order for there to be a good backfield. Would you give one an edge over the other when comparing the offensive line and the backfield?
Oh, I think the offensive line's much more important. I mean, you can have some really good running backs that don't look really good because nobody's blocked in front of them. I mean, there's not been a running back in the history of the world that's made yards without somebody blocking for him and giving him a hole. Offensive line's much more important. You can have an average running back that'll have a really good game if the offensive line's dominating the line of scrimmage.
Mark, I think when you left New Mexico, I think the term burnout or was used one of the reasons that you left there. How much fun are you having this season as compared to maybe seasons in the past?
I don't know if you consider it fun. I mean, honestly, I'm being as honest as I can, and most coaches are this way. I mean, I enjoyed the victory the other night for about 10 minutes, and then I started worrying about Air Force. I don't enjoy it till the season's over and we've been successful, and then I sit back and enjoy what happened. I mean, I'm sure I'll enjoy the Boise State win a lot more in January than I didn't enjoy it at all. I started watching Air Force on my computer on the way home. But that's a good problem to have. I mean, you know, if you win those kind of games, guess what? The next game's more important. And, I mean, people hate to hear that, but it is. This game's a lot more important than last week's game. Last week's game's long gone. And we're playing a quality opponent that can beat us. And for us to have a chance, we got to play really well. And for us to play really, really well, the coaches have to give them a good game plan, and the players have to prepare well. I mean, I don't know. Maybe other coaches enjoy it more than I do. I enjoy spring practice because you don't have to win.
So if you don't enjoy it, why do you do it?
It's my passion, I guess. I don't know. I mean, everybody does what they do, and I'm lucky to do what I wanted to do.
What does a win like this do for your program? Going on the road, being a top 25 team, first time in the San Diego State history.
This team will always have that ability to brag about that. Because it's the first, I mean, even when they do exceptional things, when you're around a team that does exceptional things, it's always, well, in the last 15 years or 12 years ago, you've done it, you know, they haven't done it for 12 years, but guess what? This one's never been done before. So this team, the members of this team, will be able to carry that with them forever. Now, most people won't care, but when you get my age, you can brag about stuff like that. And old people that sit there and listen to you, they think it's kind of cool, too.
Have old-timers, guys that have been around a while, come up to you and say, hey, that was better than that Florida State win, or hey, that was the greatest win I've seen in program history? You heard anything like that?
You know what? After the Boise game, I didn't hear that. But I heard that a couple times after the Nevada-Reno game. Yeah.
Where would you rank that win among your other solid regular season wins?
Oh, I think it's right up there. I mean, because I've been around teams that have beaten top 20 teams before. But whenever you beat a top 25 team away from home and at a place where they are dominant at home, it's a pretty big deal.
Coach, it struck me that even talking to the guys after the win, they had already started talking about Air Force. Like, how has this team been able to sort of stay so even-keeled throughout a season that has come with so many landmark wins?
That's yet to be seen because we got 2 more weeks or 2 more games to play, and this one's important. But I think the quality football teams and quality programs in the country learn to treat every week exactly the same. They have the same respect for whoever they're playing. They prepare the same way for whoever they're playing. And they go into the game with the same attitude every week.
Do you think the team has done that so far?
I think that we're learning how to do that. I'm not sure. This is the first year that in the 4 years I've been here, the other 3 years, when you had a dramatic loss, it carried on too long, and when you had a good win, it carried on way too long. The real good programs in this country in football, guess what? They enjoy it for about 24 hours and then they forget about it. And they don't get too excited when it happens. Because guess what? They expect to win. It's not unusual for them to win. They expect to win. And I think our team has shown some maturity this year that they've handled those wins pretty good.
Where does that stem from? Like, how do you instill that in your team as a coach? Is that a coach's thing, or is that like senior leadership?
No, I think it's success, and I think people have to tell them that, but they're the ones that have to accept it. It's like everything about coaching. I mean, you try to point them in the right direction, they have to accept it for it to be true, and they have to believe in it, and they have to make it happen themselves. I mean, I've said in this room several times, we do a lot of good things X and O-wise that you guys don't have any idea that it was unbelievable. Genius. Because the players weren't able to execute it, no one in the world knows it was genius. And then you might do something completely wrong. In fact, we did it the other night. We called the wrong personnel out there, and so we called a defense that fit that personnel, but they were in a different personnel, and we intercepted a pass. Okay, so that's players executing the plan, whether it was the right call or not. And you can call the perfect thing, and no one will ever know because the players don't execute it. Coaches can lose games. Coaches can never win a football game. Players win football games.
There was a lot of talk, especially after the first game, about your aggressive attitude on fourth down, point afters, punting less. And then everybody, what's Rocky doing, And then now you've got two huge wins that are directly related to that philosophy, the win at Nevada and then certainly against Boise. Is there any sense of vindication, or if now Rocky's a genius, the back and forth, is there any sense of vindication of that philosophy?
None whatsoever. I mean, we do what we do to give what we think is the best chance for our team to win. We'll do that every week. We'll continue to do that. But guess what? The only reason people are happy about it now is because it worked. If it hadn't have worked, the same people would be talking the other way like they were the first game of the year. I mean, I've been around long enough to be smart enough to know that. If they work, everybody thinks it's, boy, what a gambler. Boy, gee whiz, that's wonderful. If it doesn't work, what a dumbass.
Was that an audible? Because Adam looked like he was he just clarifying, or was it?
He changed the side of the play. Yeah, he did that several times during the game. He changed the protection a couple of times that really helped. He changed which way the run and play was going to go, which really helped. I thought that was the biggest difference between this week and his first start. He really did a nice job of getting us into the right play. And if you get into the right play, you have a better chance of success. You still have to block, though. I mean, you still have to execute it, but it gives you a better chance.
You've had a player grab Player of the Week award 5 consecutive weeks. How important has that been to your guys' success?
I think that's just a bonus. I think it's a bonus that when you win a game and someone played well, that you get some extra recognition. I mean, it's nice for the player. I guess it's nice for the team, but I think the best thing we do is we have a team. We don't have anybody on our team that's self-centered or worried about themselves. They're all worried about the success of the team.
Coach, given how young you guys were on the offensive line, defensive line, and how few seniors you have starting, are you surprised by where you guys are at this point in the season?
I'm surprised by what I thought we would be at the beginning of the year. I'm not surprised now. I mean, I think at the beginning of the year, I thought that the inexperience that we had would have caused us problems throughout the year. I think our offensive line developed quicker than I thought, and they're getting better every week. The defensive line didn't develop as quick as I thought they would, but they're playing pretty good right now. And then you have guys stepping up that no one would have guessed that would be playing that well.
Such as?
I mean, Adam Moema. I mean, everybody's concern before the season was we lost Ronnie Hillman. Now, I told everybody, but they didn't want to listen because you all know better. Bryce Quigley's really developed into a good offensive lineman. Cody Galley has really been playing well in the defensive line. Derek Largent at linebacker. I mean, he's exceeded what we thought he would be out of junior college. I mean, I could probably list 10 or 12 or 15 guys if I had a list in front of me and wanted to go that way.
What about Jake Feely, injury-wise?
He should be fine. He's got a strain in a muscle in his lower leg, and he plays hurt anyway. So, and he weighs 190 pounds, and he's 5 foot. Well, he says he's 5'11", but I don't think he is. And a guy that size playing middle linebacker is going to get beat up, so he better be pretty tough, and he better be able to play hurt.
How does a guy at that size have this level of success? I mean, obviously he's having a fantastic year. He's only a sophomore. Can he get better? How does a guy that size, do so well?
He's a good football player. Got great instincts and has a great heart. I mean, he's obviously got athletic ability, too. He's quick. He can run fairly fast. He's not afraid to hit you. In fact, he likes hitting you, but he's got great instincts. That's one of those things that coaches don't coach. Some people are better at it than others. They just react the right way. And then he plays really hard, and he makes a lot of plays. He was exactly like that in high school. He didn't get recruited by a lot of people because he was 5'9" and weighed 190 pounds.
Do you go extra hard after guys like that? That seems to be a model that maybe like Boise might have gone after, or TCU, teams that really improved their program that weren't able to get those consistent 5-star guys. Is that a way that you can go getting guys that have immeasurables like that?
We try to recruit good football players, yeah. I mean, obviously, if you could get one like Jake that was 6'5" and 240 pounds and was going to be a first-round draft choice, that's the one you would get. But there's only a few of those guys in the world. So we look for good football players that fit into our system.
You were successful at New Mexico for a while, and you're starting to gain success here. Were you ever a write-in candidate for office during any moment?
You mean political office?
Yeah.
No. That's a funny question. That's a good one. No, I was never. I don't think I was. Let's put it that way.
There's a lot of people saying they're going to write your name in today.
For what?
For president.
For president? For dog catcher or something? Or who would? I mean, I can't believe anybody wants that job.